What up, brawlers? Welcome back to Throwing Hands. Daniel's in here. He has class. He's doing the important stuff. But I'm here. And I'm here with Carson Hardman. He's getting ready to fight very soon, the XFC welterweight tournament. Welterweight, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Carson, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. So we're just going to hop right into this. We'll get to your next fight a little later, but we're going to start from the beginning. How'd you get your start in mixed martial arts?
Just was looking for something other than skateboarding. Got a little too fat for it and starting to break my decks every time that I'd go out and skate. And that's an expensive hobby, dude, when you work on a farm for cheap labor. So I decided, since I'm good at breaking things, might as well start in MMA. That's more or less in a nutshell how it happened.
So you get your start there, and then where was the point where you realized that, hey, I could do something with this?
I don't know if there was ever, I'm still figuring out if I can do something with it. I don't know if there ever is that aha moment. It's just something that I watched all the Bellator fights growing up on my lunch breaks when I was here at the farm and watching UFC fight nights and whatnot. And I just looked at them and I was like, dude, that looks fun. I want to try that. It just looked exciting. Something about the thrill, something about the challenge. It spoke to me. And so I just had to go for it. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just seeing what I can do.
Definitely. So you do get to that point, hey, I like this one, I like this challenge. And you get into your first pro matchup. What were your thoughts going into that one?
My first pro matchup, I was actually sick that day. I literally had the runs. Like there's a little porta potty in the back. I was just going in and I come out, my coaches, they're just looking at me with their heads cocked and they're like, are you going to make it through this? And I was like, I got 2 minutes, coach. Said I got 2 good minutes of cardio and after that, I'm probably toast. Went into that fight 2 minutes and 1 second later, I won. so I made the cut. I did good.
So you clearly did good, and then you kept that momentum going on. You go on a 5-fight win streak. What were your thoughts during it, and what did you learn?
The 5-fight win streak, dude, I've never competed in any sports in my entire life. I never did football, wrestling, nothing. So it was, except for maybe like piano recitals. So it's not even a sport, but like that was like the most, where your parents and like your grandparents come. That was like the most entertaining that I've ever done in my life. And so going through that and being the undefeated local guy for a little bit, it definitely got to my head, and I learned what false bravado was. I learned that there is a difference between you can be cocky or confident, but you can't have false bravado. And so it taught me a lot there. And that's when my first loss came is against Clay Collard. And it did. It was a good experience. I wouldn't have it any other way. I appreciate those losses on my record and what they've taught me as a person, individual, as a character, and an athlete. So.
Yeah, so you go into this match against Clay Collard. He's in the boxing now. He's beaten all these prospects out there, and he fought in the UFC. What exactly did you learn specifically from that fight against a top tier fighter like Clay Collard?
Just how mental fighting is. Like I knew it was mental before, but you can't let your nerves, there was a lot of talk like if you beat Clay, you're going to the UFC and this and that. And I thought, oh, dude, I could finally, I'm seeing dollar signs popping up in my head because, they pay me really well here locally, but I still have, jobs and other odds and ends that I have to do to pick up the bills. And, I'm thinking UFC, dude, I could finally fight full time. I could afford a nutritionist. And, it just kind of all went to my head and I freaked out. And I just learned that you got to stay cool, calm, and collective and just trust in your training. You can't let those emotions override you.
Definitely. So you clearly learned from that. You win 3 of the next 4. The XFC calls, they're starting up their promotion again. I talked to Myron Malaki a month and a half ago. He's excited. How'd this come together? You're starting a reboot of this promotion, and they're really excited to see where it goes.
My manager contacted me, and he said, hey, what are your thoughts about this? And he explained the contract, and I said, I understand that they're a business and I'm a business, and as far as business goes, it looks like that's the right step. That's the correct step for both of us in the right direction. You know, if they want me on their promotion, I'd be more than happy to go there and get paid a little bit while doing it. And so I was super stoked. I was way happy about it.
Definitely. So, I don't know if you fought tournament style before, but what are your expectations going into this tournament?
Win. I mean, if you don't expect to win, why the heck are you entering? You know, all these guys, they're all expecting to win. I honestly, as far as like, I know that's kind of a shallow or cliche answer, but honestly, other than that, not much. I'm just, like I said, I'm here for the journey. I've been very blessed, and I've had just a tremendous experience, and the growth as an individual in my career as an athlete has been amazing. And I consider myself, just lucky, I guess. Just like I said, blessed. Just not everyone gets these opportunities that I do with networking and connecting with people and being in front of crowds or on TV. So it's been fun.
Definitely. So you say you're blessed, and how does your Mormon faith play a role in your athletic career?
Being a part of the Church of Jesus Christ has been, trying to find the right words for it. It's been interesting. I can't tell you how much respect that I've gotten walking through the weigh-ins and even in the fight game and club, and people who know that about me, just the amount of respect. Like, I mean, I don't have the cleanest, sorry about my phone getting notifications. I don't have the cleanest tongue on earth, but they clean up their tongue around me just because they know that's one of our standards is we try to keep our language clean. They don't offer me drinks. And so just, again, because word of wisdom, we believe in a certain code of ethics as far as what we eat and can't eat. And it's been cool to see the amount of respect that people give me in that way. And I would have never guessed. I grew up in a regular high school where, being offered a drink or a smoke or a chew was just what happened, And so I've been very fortunate, I would say, and again, blessed that just they've all had great respect for me when that character comes to play.
Would you say that, how do you think your athletic life would be different without him? Does Jesus and the church provide a nice foundation for you, something to fall back on?
Definitely. It definitely keeps me grounded. Without the church, I'd be a mess. And without MMA, I'd be a mess. It's been a way. I have anxiety and depression. So MMA has been my outlet, something that I can connect to physically. Like I can touch and feel and let my emotions out on the bag or whatever physically there. And I feel like that load is lifted off. But then when it comes to the mental side of fighting, where I get the anxiety and I start overthinking things and, whoa, what about this and that? I can always go back to my God and I pray and I get blessings by the priesthood. And it's been great that way. It soothes my soul and it allows me to think clearly.
So to wrap it up here, you say you've struggled with some mental health issues. What advice would you give to some people that, they're trying to figure out their mental health issues? What advice would you give them?
Just hang in there, guys. Like, I know it's a struggle. Like I've been in some dark places where it's like, oh, this life's not worth it. And you get that anxiety where your heart's pounding and racing. You get those anxiety attacks and it's not fun. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Don't be afraid to reach out to people and don't be afraid of change. I know that's hard, especially with people with anxiety and depression and other mental illnesses. Change is scary. I think for anyone, we get so used to being in our bubble and this is the norm. This is how it should be. But if we want it to change, we got to get used to change. If we want to get better, you can't stay sick. And so don't be afraid to reach out to help, whether that's family, friends, professionally, medically, however you need to reach out and improve your life physically, mentally, health-wise, do it. Don't hesitate. It's worth it. Price on your life there's no price on it. There's no price on a soul is what we teach in our church. So.
Dang, that's a good place to wrap up, Carson. Thank you for that. Where can people find you on social media?
Just Carson Hardman on Facebook and Excite Warrior. Sorry, I had to think about it. Excite Warrior on Instagram, and same thing on Twitter. I'm not too active on Twitter, but my Instagram's probably my best place.
All right. Well, you've heard it. You've heard it there. But Carson, I want to thank you for coming on, man. I enjoyed this one.
Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate your time, brother. It's been awesome.
All right, Carson Hardman, everybody. You can catch him on November 11th in the welterweight tournament, right?
Yes, sir. We'll see it.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.